How are we doing, guys? Always to be Leeds 1, Birmingham 0 match review of the game. Sorry, this is a little bit late, guys, but wow, what a day. What an absolutely incredible day. I mean, on a personal level, probably one of the greatest days I've had supporting this football club. Just absolutely incredible day. You know, obviously you go to the start of the game, see all the 40 legends or so on being presented. Fantastic atmosphere building. You know, straight away it felt like the 12th man. Something Calvin Phillips alluded to after the game. You know, it just felt like the 12th man from the first minute, from even before kickoff. You know, you saw that at the start. You know, seeing Howard Wilco come back, the Chief, David O'Leary. I think everyone's named Eddie. You know, there's so many different players. Peter Lorimer. You know, you're listening to absolute legends here. There's 40 legends. You know, Steve Hodge, etc., etc. You know, it'd be impossible to list all of them anyway. But absolutely brilliant to start the game. You know, this and that. And on the personal level, absolutely incredible day. For myself, you know, I've been very proud to be involved in the fantastic project which Andrew Stats Dalton's been working on, an official history of Leeds United, which went on sale in the club shop yesterday, and will be on sale on Amazon as well. So make sure you look out for the links for that, guys. We'll be posting those as soon as they're up. But as we get asked to get involved in this project, it's absolutely incredible, and to see the project in action, you know, the final piece, absolutely brilliant. And you know, on another personal level, I managed to meet one of my heroes of Leeds United, Jermaine Beckford, yesterday. Beck's even signed a book, which is absolutely incredible. Just unbelievable day, guys, unbelievable. Genuinely a really humbling day. Absolutely fantastic. You know, absolutely brilliant. And obviously got to meet some of you guys as well, the fans of the channel. Me and Joe were by the club shop before the game, and it's just brilliant, guys. It really does. It's absolutely massive, you know, for all of us at LUFC. You know how much, you know, you mean to us, you know, your support for the channel. But anyway, guys, I'm going to stop being sentimental now. You get on with the match review of the game. And yeah, you know what? It was a typical Leeds United centenary game, which summed up Leeds United perfectly. We didn't do it the easy way. We started well. We had some very good periods of the game, but we did not do it the easy way, did we? You know, there was a chance there to possibly win it a bit more comfortably, but I just have to take those 3 points all day long. You know, your local lad scored, Calvin Phillips. You know, kept things tight at the back, clean sheet. We've shown good determination. You know, we have shown fantastic determination to win that game, and that was what it was all about today, really. Winning the game, getting ourselves back on that winning run. You know, and hopefully it will build confidence. But look, it wasn't convincing today. I'm not going to lie, it was not convincing today. I think we probably did deserve it on the balance of things, because Birmingham didn't really come into it until sort of the last 20-25 minutes, when I do believe they were on top. But I thought we had much of the first sort of 60-65 minutes. I think when we scored, it felt justified. You know, I felt it was justified when we scored. But go on to the start of the game, obviously we set up in a three at the back system, and we do start the game well. You know, we've got Calvin Phillips just in front of the back three, and Mateo Click sort of playing the number 10 role, the enganche role to an extent, just behind the front three. Yeah, you know what? I thought we had good control of the game. You know, for sort of the first half an hour, 45 minutes. There's a few sloppy moments, but I thought our passing was good. We're getting the ball into good angles. I thought Gianni LUFC was very tenacious on that left-hand side, winning the ball back high up. A lot of good high pressing off Gianni LUFC, winning the ball high up. Luke Ayling, I thought Luke Ayling was absolutely outstanding yesterday, especially at the start of the game. You know, he was getting on the ball, he was finding those little passing angles. He was having an absolute game. Well, he was having the time of his life at right centre back, to be honest. It was almost like Sheffield United's system last season of overlapping centre backs. You know, Ayling always had that space. He always bought himself that extra little second, you know, to sort of find the pass, and he was doing it every single time. He wasn't going for the easy pass. He was genuinely playing the ball between the lines and breaking up Birmingham to an extent. Because Birmingham, let's be honest, were quite negative in the way they set up, and I'm not going to criticise that at all. You know, I thought they defended absolutely superbly. I thought Mark Roberts and Harley Dean at the back for them were absolutely sensational, to be honest. You've got to give credit to that, to be fair. They absolutely were sensational, those two at the back. Pedersen and Harley Dean, and Collan at right back. Collan's a very, very good right back at this level. Both had superb games as well, so we had to break down a really, really resilient back four, and I thought the four in front of them did a good job off the ball too. So it was a tough first 45 that. We had a couple of chances. Paddy Bamford had that half chance. And we had probably the biggest chance of the first half came to Stuart Dallas. It was a good bit of play that between Click and Dallas. And we had that chance, and that was probably where I sort of felt at half time we could have gone one up. Or we should have been one up, really, you know, in the game. We had a couple of little moments after that, but I thought the only thing we lacked a little bit in that first 45, which has sort of been the story of the season so far, was the end product. Either the final pass or the final finish just wasn't good enough in that first 45 minutes. Look, let's be honest, in the season it's not been good enough so far, but if we keep doing the right things, we keep that belief, we keep starting games like that, it will come. It will come. There's no way it can't come. We can say about, okay, certain players aren't very clinical, but it will come. It will eventually patch together. It's just about everything being in the right place now. We're doing 95% of the right things, and yeah, that's my feeling on that. I think the last 3 or 4 games, the performance hasn't been terribly convincing, but we're still doing a lot of the right things. And in general, okay, you do need a little bit of luck along the way. I do think it's going to come together at some point. I definitely do. Definitely do think this is a team, even though it's not playing anywhere near to sort of the standards of last season, I do think it's a team that can be pushing for promotion this season. But as I said in the Millwall game, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but anyway, I'll go on to the second half. The second half, we started well again. We started well, we got the goal, fantastic. The local lad gets the goal. It's almost like a sort of a bit of a Graham Taylor on Carlton Palmer, that sort of England moment really, sort of thinking, what the hell is Calvin Phillips doing that high up the pitch? After that, I was like, I didn't even know it was Calvin Phillips who scored until it was announced on the thingy. I was like, I don't know what he's doing that high up the pitch. Good bit of movement off Calvin Phillips. Fantastic bit of play of Jack Harrison, to be fair. And full credit to Jack Harrison. Of course, he's had his critics last couple of weeks. That's 2 assists in 2 games, where he has been efficient. He's shown efficiency there. He didn't have many chances to attack in the game, and he's shown a good bit of efficiency. He's won the ball high up the pitch. Lovely little layout to Calvin Phillips, and you have to give massive praise to that goal for Jack Harrison. Absolutely 100%. And yeah, he's done his job. I think we all praise Helder Costa. We all say, Helder Costa's that player who's going to really show potential. But you have to be honest, last 2 games, Jack Harrison, if Pablo's back fit against Preston, you have to say the last 2 games, Jack Harrison's probably justifying that space more than Helder Costa at the minute. Not necessarily saying Jack Harrison's the better player. I don't believe that. But I'm saying on current form, you'd have to go Jack Harrison over Helder Costa, because he is at least making things happen to an extent in that attacking sense. Yeah, and look, there's still a long way to go for him. He has to still show that little bit more consistency now. That's something he has to show more of. But yeah, after that, after we scored, we had a couple of half chances. I thought the impact of Eddie Nketiah and Tyler Roberts was very, very good. Eddie Nketiah especially, I thought he had a really good game when he came on. I'll be honest, I think now you look at it, and I think it'd be very, very harsh to not start him at Preston over Paddy Bamford. I love Paddy Bamford, but I think Nketiah, based on that performance against Millwall when he came on, based on his impact yesterday, he didn't score, but showed good other elements of his game. Lovely little layoffs, good bits of vision, good bits of movement, and it's what you want to see from a striker. He's someone who I think will get goals for us. I think he's someone who is a goal scorer, absolutely no doubt about that. So personally, I think it would be very, very harsh now on Paddy Bamford, on Nketiah, to not start at Preston personally. I think as well, Tyler Roberts' impact was super on the game. There was a time in the game when we were sort of starting to look a little bit flat, and he changed the momentum of the game. He got on the ball, he showed that energy. I felt Helder Costa looks a lot more in the game when Tyler Roberts came on. He was feeding the ball into him in dangerous areas. I think he looks a lot more of a natural number 10 than Mateusz Klich. I think Mateusz Klich needs to drop down deeper. And yeah, it's an interesting one really. That's my general feeling on it now. I do genuinely think Tyler Roberts and Eddie Nketiah have got to start Preston for me. You've seen the impact they made on the game. Yes, both players got a little bit sloppy towards the end, but they've made a massive impact on the game, and that's what it's all about at the minute. At the end of the day, we only scored 16 goals in 12 games. You've got to assess the options for me, and that's the big thing. But look, it was a game we deserved to win. It wasn't the most convincing. I don't think either team will say it's the best performance, in an attacking sense. But I thought the defences were definitely on top of the game. But I've got a name, in terms of the top players in this game for me. I thought Luke Ayling was absolutely superb at the back. Just absolutely brilliant, so composed, and just looked so comfortable in that back three. I think Ben White again. Ben White was superb. Fantastic block towards the end of the game. And yeah, I thought both of those really stood out in the game. And it wasn't a game of massive quality, but it was a game we had to win. And the thing that worries me though is the way we're finishing games at home. The way we're finishing a couple of games. We're not finishing games strongly. Very rarely have finished a game this season strongly. We're very much being sort of either hanging on or lost a little bit of composure. Because let's be honest, we probably could have been further ahead, yesterday. But that last 20 minutes was frustrating. Obviously looking at Kiko, he's making me nervous at the minute. I'll be honest, he is making me nervous. He's doing some really, really, really daft things. Obviously when he goes charging out of his area, that was really poor for me. That was really poor. He won't keep keeping his head. And yeah, there's a couple of little bits and pieces where I thought he needs to be doing better there. But at the end of the day, we've kept a clean sheet, so we can't be complaining too much about that. But I think, you know, you look at the next 2 games, Preston and Sheffield Wednesday, we've got to improve. It's as simple as that. We still have to improve. But we have to be happy with where we are. Look, we're second in the table. If we maintain this for the rest of the season, 23 points in 12, just under 2 points a game, we will be automatically promoted. The thing is, we've got to maintain that now. You know, it's a big ask. It's a tough league. This it is a tough league, and I think the games are going to come thick and fast. It's a big week for us this week. You know, I'd personally be happy, you know, if we just, you know, come out of it not too unscathed. Really, you know, I think it's 2 very, very tough away games. If we can win both games, that'd be absolutely sensational. But I'd be happy if we can just win one of them and just keep building that points up. You know, it's a tough game. It's a tough 2 games coming up, and you know, we've just got to keep that about us. You know, and I think the big thing for me is, I keep saying it about mentality, but I felt like also our last 10-15 minutes, there's still that little bit of nerves there. I think we really do need that big win, that big 90-minute performance, just to build that confidence now. You know, that we can be confident when we're 1-up, sort of 10-15 minutes into a game, and that we've left in the game. And I know we won the game at the end of the day, but there are signs there, a little bit of nerves for me. That's a little bit disappointing to still see that. But at the end of the day, defensively, we're doing really, really well. You know, I think there's certain things about us that are better than last season. There's certain things about us compared to last season that we're not as good at. But you know, all in all, you know, the table doesn't lie. You know, we're second in the table. We deserve to be second in the table. And I'm being overcritical. I probably am being a bit overcritical, but you know, it's what this league's about. You have to constantly improve. I know we keep saying about maybe the league hasn't got as much quality to it as last season, and whether that's true or not, I don't know. I think it's a bit too early to say as of yet. But you know, it's one of those things. You know, we've got a couple of results went our way yesterday. Swansea drawing, Fulham getting beat, a couple of ones that have just escaped my mind as well. Preston got beat as well. So you know, we've got to be confident. We've got to be confident, but there's certain things we can improve. And I think Pablo, hopefully, if he's back fit against Preston, provides solutions for at least 2 out of our 3 problems in terms of goal scoring and creativity. I think he massively, because I think as much as I say we deserve to be further ahead, I don't think we created that many clear-cut chances yesterday, and we haven't really created many clear-cut chances in the absence of Pablo. So you know, the stats don't lie. If we keep creating clear-cut chances, when Pablo gets back into the team, we probably will start scoring more goals, and Pablo will himself. You know, Pablo's, you're losing about 10-15 goals out of the team just not having Pablo there. So hopefully we get Pablo back fit. Hopefully he's fit enough for Preston, and it's a massive game. But guys, can't thank you enough for your support. 100 year centenary. Here's another 100 years. See you later, guys.